Sorry, finish your question?
Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. The word largely is relative. And that's how we must understand it. And even the word completely is also relative. So we use them advisedly. The government has made us to understand that compared to the situation they met on ground, what we have now is a large improvement and advancement over that situation. Now, as I said, those who are in the eye of the storm, the people, at the battleground, they may feel differently. They may say, well, look, we have not returned to our houses. We are still living in, IDP areas. So for them, until they return to their base, their natural, habitat, they may not understand and appreciate that much has been achieved. But from onlookers, and I think we have to be very careful, we could, based on some of the indices available now, it looks like the government has made some advances over where we were before they came in.
What would you say? I mean, one of the things the federal government also talked about was that Boko Haram had lost the ability to carry out spectacular attacks. How would you rate the attacks that were carried out yesterday between Borno and Adamawa?
To the extent that we can lose 61 lives in one day, the attacks are still spectacular. And again, I'm very careful not to judge the spectacular nature of any attack by the number of people that we lose, because every one life that is lost needlessly is a pain and must be a pain to the nation. So it's possible that the government might be thinking in terms of the areas where the insurgents are able to carry out their activities. Perhaps they are going by what we call the containment theory. In criminology, they have been able to contain the activities of the terrorists and the insurgents to a particular area and a reduced coverage than what it was when they came to power. This is my reading of the government's claim.
One of the reasons why that will be important is because people will, when we say that we've largely won a war against terror, chances are high that people, might go back to their homes and not be as vigilant as they used to be. Do you think that could also be a consequence of government statements?
You're right. We have to be very careful about the language we use. When you use the word won, or we are winning, those words create some psychological impact on the citizens who begin to think that, well, maybe we can relax on our vigilance and things like that. But that, the capability of the insurgents has been significantly degraded. I understand that. And citizens definitely cannot rest on their oars on the basis of that statement. So my encouragement to the government is continue with the trajectory that we are going, and but make sure that the language that we use, one, does not give a false sense of security. And secondly, it does not create unnecessary alarm in the minds of the citizens.
Well, Prof, thank you for staying with us. Now, let me, okay, we'll still have one more before we switch over to the other aspect.
Yes, Prof, I was just going to ask you, so where do you think we will get to with the war against terror when we will say we are comfortable? Can we truly eliminate terrorism and insurgency?
Looks like they're back to me, but I can't hear the question.
Can you hear me, Prof?
It doesn't look like it.
I don't think that Prof can hear us.
I don't think he can, but okay, well, we'll attempt to sort that out, and because in that context, they need to understand what exactly it is so that everyone can understand what government is trying to achieve. When they say largely, spectacular, a lot of those phraseologies confuses people.
When he said something about information, it would seem as if information is also not enough. We just hope that the spokesperson for the government, can come in here, as well as even for the military, because one of those unfortunate incidents that occurred yesterday happened in the mosque, and we understand that the worshippers came out and they were all looking at the device or the explosive, the IED there. They all crowded around it, looking at it like something spectacular until it went off. So it would mean that the information given to citizens and people around localities and even the country at large is insufficient until we get to see some form of understanding from everyone across the country on what to do when they see strange objects, or even show some kind of pictures, some kind of cans that some of these people have been able to use to make some of these bombs.
We understand that Prof is back on the line now.
Okay.
Prof, if you can hear us, we're just asking, do you think that terrorism can truly be completely eliminated?
It's a very powerful question there. I can hear you now. Terrorism cannot be 100% eliminated, but it can be brought to the level where people can go about their normal life and contribute to the development of their nations. So, and that is the responsibility of government. If you recall, the Nigerian constitution makes it the primary purpose of government is the security and welfare of the people, of the citizens. So while terrorism can never be 100% eliminated, the government has this onerous responsibility to ensure that it is kept to the level where people can go about their normal business.
So are you saying that we will have to deal with a normal level of terrorism?
Just like we have to deal with the normal level of other crimes, including corruption, including stealing, all those, the elements of corruption, murder, kidnapping, name it. So you cannot 100% eliminate these crimes and forms of criminality from the society, but you can keep them under the level that they cannot endanger the progress of the society. It depends on which faith you subscribe to. The Christian faith believes that human nature is corrupted from the beginning. That necessitated the coming of a salvage package. Other faiths have their own rendition of this as well. So human nature, by and large, if it is unchanged, if it's unredeemed, tends to go towards criminality. And that is why you would always have government, because the government has the responsibility to ensure that we have all the laws, all the institutions, all the personalities and personnel that will ensure that people operate within the bounds of the contract or the social contract that we share with each other.
Prof, yesterday we talked about leadership and to see how we can move society forward in terms of counterpart funding in the realm of ideas. You are a pioneer vice chancellor at Salem University. That's one area that people expect a lot of ideas to always come from, such that when policies come through from whichever quarter in public service, those areas should look at those policies and say, well, this may achieve certain goals, this may need to be adjusted. Do you see your sector now, the education sector, universities, the tertiary institutions, there are those who had accused them of not living up to that aspect of contributing their quota research, very high quality research, to developing society.